Back in end of April 2012, my son Bodie was 10 months old at the time, had a choking accident at home. Bodie then spent the next 5 days putting up an absolutely incredible fight. It's something which enabled me to learn more about my son, who was 10 months old, than I probably would have learned about him in 10, 15, 20 years. What it told me about his character and his spirit. Then on Sunday night, in his own little way, he told us that he'd really fought his fight and that he wouldn't be with us much longer. It was only at the point where we realised he wasn't coming back that we started to consider organ donation. There was no way that we could let his life mean nothing, and it's that inspired us as a family to start the charity and start to do good things in his name.
It takes strong people and strong-minded and strong-hearted people to do what he's doing, and that's why for me everyone's born with their own challenge in life, and I think that his situation with Bodie was Nick's challenge, and I think, believe it or not, that challenge in life was bigger than any world title fight you could ask for.
At the Great North Run, there will be myself, our patron Rendell Munro, and Craig Peatrix, who is the father of Matthew Peatrix, a young 10-year-old boy who's been 7 years now waiting for a kidney, who spends 12 hours on dialysis each and every day.
There's always hope. You hope that with everything that you get that phone call coming. If the phone rings and you miss it, it's like you dive on it to find out. Can't go abroad, can't be no more than 2 to 3 hours away from the hospital. I suppose you're going through the motions of your life, you're just holding out for that one thing.
96% of people would accept an organ if they needed it, yet only 33% of people are actually signed up to it, and that's a statistic that's got to change.
I just can't get my head around why we're waiting so long when there's so many people out there that could donate, but they just don't choose to.
Being a father, to say that I'm willing 100% to accept a donor to save one of my own children's life, but I'm not willing enough to give one of my own to save somebody else's life. So there is certain things in life you should do.
We set up the foundation and we had two aims. The first aim was to raise enough money to buy a holiday home for any parents who'd been bereaved of a child. Our second aim is to do all that we can to promote the organ donation register. We are going to be carrying an organ transport box. What we're going to be doing is filling the box with messages of hope from those who are on the waiting list, messages of thanks for those who've received transplants, and also messages of memorial from those who sadly have lost their lives but have become organ donor heroes.
13 miles, it's a pretty long way, but then for me personally, Matthew gets me through it. I just think of all the pain he goes through, so me running 13 miles is nothing.
I know that part of my son lives on in other people, and there's no greater sense of pride that you can have as a father.